I need my hair. I got all hair.
Oh my god, it is cold tonight. So cold. I live at the homeless shelter, waiting to be housed for the evening. Posting a video on like relationship advice. If y'all want to give that a listen. I was just kind of talking about how, like, people with mental health and trauma, although all of that is, like, valid and understandable, I mean, because I have that, y'all listen to me, it is not something that just as you are can provide an instant want or need for somebody to want to, like, be in...
Do you remember Cherry Check the Blonde?
I guess I should say you should aim for a secure attachment style and strong sense of self-worth. Why? Because if you have a strong sense of self-worth, if you have a strong sense of boundaries, self, what you need, what you're capable of achieving for yourself, how you calm yourself down.
Oh wow, I never met a guy
self-soothe, how you take care of yourself. You have a stable job, you have a good bank account, you have a good knowledge of like CBT, DBT, therapy, you take your medications, you take care of you.
I think this was a $10
with everything else of like a house,
maybe 20,
car, all that shit.
So I need a 53.
And on top of that, have an understanding of what you actually need in a relationship.
Yep, 53.
Not need for you. What you need
20
standardly in order to have a relationship.
I don't see the
secure
20.
Attachment style
$10 winner
has the ability to
nice.
know.
I need that for food during the week because I'm outside during
what
the week.
Works for them and what doesn't work for them. A traumatized person and anybody with fearful avoidant or avoidant attachment style, anxious avoidant, any other attachment style other than secured attachment style does not understand what they need or want in a relationship or what the other person needs is what I'm talking about needs as a basic. When you are in a secure attachment style and in a better place as a person, you know what to give another person. You know how to give and take reciprocally, and you were able to say, oh, hi guys. You were able to say, hey, this doesn't work for me, and use I statements, use your own coping skill toolbox.
Look at this dress a rich lady gave out.
In order to, like, navigate your own world effectively. Like, yeah, everybody kind of basically knows, oh, I should have at least a job, a house, a bank account, a car for a good long time, That's what everyone basically is like, I need that in a relationship. Yes, however, you also need somebody who's emotionally available, somebody who understands you, somebody who knows how to take care of themselves, someone who can set firm boundaries, someone who can go out into stressful situations and handle things calmly, right? They're not reactive, they're not aggressive, they're not blaming, they're not neglectful or abusive, all of that. Why? If somebody is carrying themselves calmly, assertively, not aggressively, there is a difference. If someone is carrying themselves well, it is probably because they have a strong sense of self, which at its core is confidence. Confidence is having a strong sense of yourself. Being unbothered by other people's opinion is because you know that their opinions doesn't matter. Why? Because what I say is most important to me. Not what I say is important overall. No, that's narcissistic level. I'm talking about, like, my opinions towards me are important for me. If I think I'm pretty, I'm pretty. It doesn't matter if person A says I'm ugly. Why? Because I think I'm pretty. The whole thing about attractiveness and feeling hot or feeling beautiful is an opinion. Also, it's a feeling inside yourself, an opinion towards yourself. So if you don't feel or think you're pretty, That's your perspective. If you think you're pretty, if you think you're attractive, you think all these things, right? That's the law of manifestation, subliminal, all of that. If you believe that you were attractive, then you operate out of what you believe in. And that goes for anything and everything. If you're saying, hey, I'm traumatized, and because and in this conversation I did A, B, or C, and that's because of what happened to me when I was a kid, because of A, B, or C, that's not an explanation at all. That is an excuse. Trauma, when you use it as a reason why you did something without fully grounded, actual, solid evidence, things that back that up, is like actual fact of why you do what you do. Okay, I've gone through like SA severely and everything, and I don't trust a lot of people in general. Not just men. I don't trust people in general. On top of everything. But that's not a good making for a relationship. Why? Trust is one of the foundations you need with a partner. I need to work on my trust issues before I start looking for love or any type of relationship in any way, shape, or form. I mean, everybody knows the basics of provision, but they don't often talk about emotional provision. You know? I mean, attachment styles are built off of how you feel and then how you respond. Not react, how you respond. If you're reactive, that can be equated to explosiveness in some situations. But reactivity does not always mean explosivity, if that is a word. I'm not Englishing. But
it's hot out today. I'm sweating right now.
It is important to know your standards first. And it is important to know yourself as a whole. Mental, physical, environmental, how you interact with your community, all of that before you enter a relationship. Basically anybody can go out and get a job. Anybody can get a house. Anybody can if you put enough work. Just because rent levels are high, just because things cost more, you can work 2 or 3 jobs, right? You can get a job. Basically anybody can, and get a house, eventually get a car, get those things. But what cannot everybody do? Heal, have a secure attachment style. So when you look for a relationship, you want somebody who not only has the physical stuff that everybody can do, you want what not many other people can do. Emotional ability, emotional availability, a strong sense of self, the ability to communicate effectively, reasonably, rationally, and calmly, use I statements, the ability to go to a therapist regularly, or do therapy courses online or on YouTube. There are licensed therapists on YouTube. The ability to put in the work on yourself.
And I finally got that guy put away for 36 years.
Manage yourself.
I've gone away for 36 years.
Provide for someone else. And have all of those things. Physical, emotional, how you handle yourself, intellectual, all of that is what you need to know and understand before you start looking for love. A lot of people in life, in general, in every generation, love to them is something that can fill a hole in their lives. For example, somebody who didn't get love as a child, I'll get a relationship.
Because he's a rapist. So you go to prison, you're a rapist, you're going to be killed. You know, and they'll stab and they'll initiate the games, and the games will go.
It's
over
just
there
a
and start
matter
stabbing.
of
The
really
newbies will.
knowing and understanding any and all of this.
Yeah, and they use rapists to do that with. And molesters and all that. We don't like that kind of shit. They don't take kindly
I mean,
to
for
it.
me, when I get to know somebody,
He's not getting
when I
friends.
get to interact with
only friends
somebody,
he's got is,
because
like,
of, the
other
intellectual
rapists,
skills and everything, and just me in general, analyze your movements, ability, the way you talk, the way you act, the way you treat me, all of that. How you communicate, how you, act within yourself and towards me. I'm all analyzing that in the first interaction I have with you. Why? Well, certainly if you meet somebody and you accidentally spill your drink on them and they punch you in the face, you don't want to enter a relationship with that person. Why? I shouldn't have to tell you why, but that's probably a red flag for abuse. So, I mean, that just shows that they're instantly going to throw hands at the slightest thing that they disagree with you with, So knowing how to, the difference between responding to something and reacting to something and exploding to something, that's a good thing to understand.
They're gonna serve
Knowing
us
how to
we
heal
get
your
in,
trauma
like, by
and-
6 o'clock or before 6.
And not just like, oh, make it go away. No.
I don't think we're gonna
Trauma,
turn
I'm not
anybody
saying
away.
that
I
it
think we
goes
have
away,
a
that you shouldn't
house
have
that
trauma
we're not gonna turn
you can
anybody
have
away.
trauma and have a secure relationship. That is yes and. Like, I can be mad at my mom and still love her. My dog dies and I can remember my dog. My friend is mean to me and I can forgive my friend. Yes, and having the concept of duality on lock, because life is neither just good or bad. No human is just good or bad. There's gray in everything. And that's a lot that a lot of people don't like to hear in general. Because I guess what I would say, if when I'm hurting, I certainly don't want to hear the logical portion of it. I'm getting better at listening to advice when I'm overly emotional, even if it seems insensitive at the time. Learning the difference between operating out of an emotional mind brain frame versus the intellectual mind brain frame aspect, mindset, all of that is going to change how you effectively live your life. Yes, I'm upset that my son is taken, and I know he's well taken care of. Yes, I'm angry at my family for all the trauma I have, and I'm able to forgive them and have a relationship with them. Yes, I had a really good friendship with my friend Max Angel, and we're no longer friends, and I can accept that. And, yes, and I guess I would say yes, I had a relationship as a friendship with Max Angel, and I can hold on to the memories and the good times and honor their wants and wishes of being away from me. Yes, and yes, I can be homeless.
I totally agree. Use that card.
And I can have a home. Home is not a building. Home is a feeling. There's so many things I could talk about. But overall, knowing what you want in life, how to attain that effectively. Not just how to blatantly attain it. How do you attain it effectively? Certainly, if you want a car, you're not going to steal it. Why? That's not an effective way to obtain a car. You want a relationship, you need to know how to effectively obtain a relationship. It shouldn't be just to fix a hole within you. And why I say it so bluntly like this is because I was like that for a very long time. I had relationship after relationship. I was a relationship addict. Why? Because I thought it would heal something inside me that I was not healing myself. Period. I think that's a lot of things that people do not realize until later in life. So know your wants and needs. Know how you need to approach a situation in any regard before you enter into a relationship, before any of that. I mean, with my kid being taken, yes, it's unfair, and they made the right call. As sucky as that is to say, I don't have a house. On top of that, I'm still getting my trauma and emotional reactivity under wraps. And that takes a really long time. But an infant, a child, does not have that amount of time. They need a mom now. They need a parent now. And they need somebody who's secure and loving now. I'm not any of those things now. As much as I'm upset that my kid is taken, I frankly can't provide what he needs. I will always love him.
You're getting
And I
taller and
always
taller.
wish the best for him.
She is going to be tall.
And he can still have a good life. And I could probably see him again, you know? And I'm not saying all of this advice just to discount trauma or anxiety or depression or SA trauma or anything like that. No, I'm saying it because your goal should not be to be stuck in your mental health your whole life. Your goal should not be to be stuck in your trauma your whole life and have everybody conforming on what triggers you, on what upsets you your whole life. That's not effective for anybody. And learning that and how to effectively be a human should be everybody's top priority and goal. You know, I'm 24 and I've learned all of this just by experience and analyzing and understanding and trial and error. And yet I have people who are like my grandma, who are like 81, and my parents who are like 52 and 56 tell me, oh, I know more than you because of my age. And I'm like, that essentially just made you sound 10 times dumber than me and automatically makes you the foolisher one in the conversation. Why? Age does not determine your level of intellect, experience, and knowledge, any way, shape, or form. I'm sorry, but it doesn't. And to say that your age does is logically a very foolish statement. So there's also the fact that a lot of people who are older, a lot of people who are older in general, and I'm just saying older, I'm not saying like 70 to 80, I'm saying older than who I am. Older. People older than me. Often say, treat me with respect.
It was fun today. I had a
when
good
you
time.
are already giving it. Why? Because what they actually mean is treat me with authority because I'm older than you. I'm your superior. Treat me with authority. That's what they're meaning. They're not talking about mutually respecting you as a human being. They're saying, I'm older than you. I'm your superior. Treat me with authority.
I need a sign.
So
let me know you.
Which is very irritating to me.
Sorry.
No, not you. I'm on live, so I'm just spouting a bunch of shit to people. So I like that song.
I do.
I do too.
Somebody's lying about me, and that song came on. That song came
channel.
right on.
That's a channel song.
From the Angels.
Yeah, hell yeah.
Yeah.
I get those all the time.
Yeah.
Yeah, like at 1 a.m. in the morning, and I just start hearing a song, and I'm like, again? Really, this again? Well, in any aspect, I'll be in the shelter tonight, so I don't have a lot of time to be on live, but I appreciate the likes and comments and subscribes and love the community and family we're all making. I love you all as human beings, and you all matter, you're all important, you're all valid in whatever you're going through, in whatever phase of journey your life you're in. Please come back. If you don't, I wish you well.
It is.
Toodles.
It brings me goosebumps.